Two friends meet up to drink some beers and talk about past times. Not yesterday, but long ago, it's scandals, wars, and crimes. From Stalin's reign to Prohibition, Tudors, Pompey, Bush, and NASA's mission, Edison's Bulk, Genghis Khan's rise to victory. Forget your old teacher, it's time for Pint-Sized History.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Pint-Sized History Podcast. My name's Zach.
And I'm Joe.
And today we've got a banger. We're back with the Nazis. I'm spoiling it straight away. You spoil my episodes every time, so I thought I'd jump straight in. But we are here. Everyone's been waiting for it. We've all been thinking about it. The Nazis.
Yeah.
When are we getting back into the Nazis?
Yeah.
And I can't wait. We're here today to talk about the Nazis in power. We did
now you actually are just spoiling everything, though. Now you really just. Do you want to say any more? Or are you going to let me say anything?
We did the Nazis in power. Season.
We did the Rise of the Nazis, which I did, and it was a great time. One of our most popular podcasts.
It was the best time. It was the best podcast,
best podcast we've done. We both agreed that we couldn't just end it there because we're both so interested in the subject, but it's also just a really interesting subject, and people are interested by it. So we thought we should definitely do one of them once they're in power. And so that is exactly what I've done the research for today. But before we go any further, Zach, don't we have a sponsor?
Oh, yes, we do. It's Crate Brewery. And they are a lovely brewery located in Hackney. And I think they have a new branch opening up in Canary Wharf, which I think we got invited to the launch of their new pub. But
we did?
I don't think either of us went.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about
that. Sorry, Crate, if you're listening. But if you'd love to get yourself a nice, refreshing pint of Crate Brewery's beers, ales, hazies, soda cocktails.
Yeah.
We've
got a friend that did the other day. Remember our mate Ben? We should just give him a shout out.
Yeah,
Ben
shout
bought
out to
some,
Ben.
Ben bought some Crate Brewery beers and let us know it.
let us nuke.
Ben,
one eye of newt.
Ben bought some Crate Brewery beers, and he told us the other day that he bought them and he enjoyed them, and he was very happy.
Absolutely.
So I tell you what, well done to Ben, and well done to Crate for supplying us with such tasty beverages.
And if you'd like to get on the fun, like Ben did, who is thoroughly enjoying his beers and his soda cocktails,
thanks, Ben.
Then please go to the Crate Brewery website. That's cratebrewery.com, and type in and check out Pint-Sized 15. That's PINTSSED 15. And here's a taste test.
Always nice getting through quick.
Delicious. And besides our sponsorship, Joe, don't you have some special news for all of our people watching this?
Yeah.
That sounds so creepy.
That does sound creepy. I suppose, yes, I suppose I do. Because, funnily enough, in the past week or so, I got engaged to my lovely girlfriend.
Oh, is that the Italian girlfriend?
That is the
because
Italian girlfriend.
You know Italian.
I do speak Italian. Why are you turning it to that? That's such a weird thing.
I'm just saying, I'm very happy for you.
Thanks.
That's really what I should have led with.
Yeah.
I'm
the
so
Italian one.
Yeah, that's the Italian, yeah.
Yes,
Britannia with all those waves.
No, but thank you very much for your kind words, and let's hope that you're invited to the wedding. Right, shall we get started?
I think what we'll do is like a special wedding Pint-Sized History edition, you know?
That would be fun.
Would it fuck?
Well, yeah, we'd do it like wedding themed, and we'd get smashed, and we'd be like, we'd wear suits. And,
I was saying, no, like at your actual wedding.
Yeah, we could find a place to film, and we could wear our lovely suits, and we could make a themed about weddings or some shit. That might be fun.
We should go to the beach. No, John, we should go to Anzio or Monte Cassino. Cool. So when we get started, now that those formalities are out the way, you lover boy.
Yes, thank you.
Mary, look at me.
Well, look, nothing gets me more in the romantic wedding mood than talking about the Nazi regime. So that's what we're going to be talking about.
Hitler was a romantic.
Hitler was such a romantic.
He really captured the hearts of a generation. He
was a creep. But yes, so like we said very briefly at the beginning, last. I don't know how many episodes, maybe 10 or 12 or so episodes ago, we did the Nazis' rise. And that was essentially from the moment that Hitler joined the Nazi party. In fact, it was actually a bit before that, talking about World War I. But yeah, basically Hitler's rise through the ranks of the Nazi party in the early 1920s until he became Chancellor of Germany in 1933, and the Nazis became the dominant party in Germany. So that pretty much is exactly where I'm going to be leaving off from. So I actually do recommend, if you haven't watched that episode, then I actually do recommend that you go watch that one first. You don't have to, because it's not like it's necessary to know what we're going to be talking about next. But it is really interesting to see from where they started from to what we'll be talking about today. So I do recommend that.
Do you know what the great thing is though? That episode is really interesting, and it's like the formative years of the Nazi Party, which is not the most interesting years. The fucking meat of the Nazis is the next 6 years. It's 33 to 39. That is when it gets real fucking crazy.
Yes.
And that is probably out of like all histories, pretty much my second favorite.
Well, I was actually, funnily enough, you
So
say
much
that.
shit happens.
I was going to say two things to that because, firstly, yes, when I was researching this, I did think this is probably the podcast that I am researching today that is the one that you will know most about of pretty much any topic that I do. I think I know that you know a lot about this subject. The second thing I say is,
Night of the Long Night, Crystal Nacht.
The other thing I would say,
a bit of Crystal Nacht. Don't mind that if I do.
The other thing I will say is that you're not wrong. There is a ton of stuff that you could talk about throughout these 6 years or so. And that's a problem because, we are doing just a two-parter like usual, or we're doing the usual length that we do for these podcasts. So there are just some things that I kind of have to just go over just very quickly because we don't actually have time to talk about all the really bizarre things that the Germans did.
Scrap the episode. I'm not going to listen if it's not all of it. I need all of the Nazis.
Maybe we can save some certain things to go into in more depth at a later point. But this is pretty in depth. And also, I know that pretty much any sentence I finish, you're just going to come in and go, well, actually, so I know that it's going to take forever to get through this regardless. So let's get started.
I actually did do that when we were doing the first episode of the Nazis. Joe missed out he was talking about the emergency law and he didn't talk about the Reichstag fire, which is like
I didn't.
It's like so historians say that the Reichstag fire is like the most important event of those years.
Yeah.
And Joe just completely fucking went over it. And,
I did go over it very briefly.
I had a chat with him at the time. Like it was like 10 minutes before we were finishing recording. And I was like, Joe, are you actually not going to mention the Reichstag fire? Like, how dare you do the formative years of the Nazis and not do the Reichstag fire?
It was because.
I'll quickly do it. I'll cut you off. I'll quickly do it.
No, it's just because the research that I had looked into pointed to me that even though the fire, I do agree it was a mistake to not talk about it more, but because the fire was kind of just what they were looking for to make it happen.
It was a false flag.
It was a false flag. It made me feel like, that's actually secondary to what I'd rather talk about more, which was the what happens after, the consequences of it.
Yeah.
Having said that, I agree. I should have probably talked about it a little bit more than I did.
Google Reichstag fire.
But funnily enough, in those last 10 minutes of that podcast, like you mentioned, we spoke about many things to do with what the Nazis did the second they came into power. The most important for me, and the one that I touched on the most in those last 10 minutes, was the Enabling Act. So what we're going to be starting pretty much from exactly that point. The year is 1933, and Hitler is signing off the Enabling Act during his first few months in power, meaning he can now enact any legislation without consent from the Reichstag.
Come on.
Come on. Basically...
This is it. This is where it all gets crazy. I love it.
Yeah. Basically a law meaning that Hitler can do whatever he wants at any point, at any time, and no one can stop him.
Yeah.
Total power.
It's like a Stairmaster, right? It's like, it seems very sensible at first. It's like the Family Guy skit, which is like... Yeah, more public services, das ist gut, yeah. Yes, Olympics, das ist gut, euthanasia of the mentally feeble, das ist gut.
It's true, he can basically just do whatever his heart desires, and the only things he really has to worry about, and there are some things he has to worry about, and we'll obviously talk about them, is the opinions. It's like he has power, but if everyone hates him and wants to get rid of him, the more enemies he has, the more difficult it is. So he still has to persuade. Just because he has power doesn't mean he can just do whatever he wants. Even the most brutal of dictators still have to abide by some rules, especially at the beginning. And the beginning is not easy for him. By far, one of the main reasons he was able to get elected was due to the Great Depression. The country is on its knees. Roughly a third of Germans are... No, you just don't when I'm saying something's on its knees, you don't need to just go for porn and start going gluck gluck gluck. That is so sus of you.
Yeah,
it really
is. It's also really shit banter too.
It is shit banter. It's to completely throw me off track, and everyone listening is really disappointed in you right now.
I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry.
All right, I'll say that again just so we can. The country is on its knees. Excuse me. The country is on its knees. Roughly a third of Germans are unemployed and hundreds of thousands are homeless. Hitler had campaigned on an economic rhetoric. The famous Nazi campaign slogan was Arbeit und Brot, which means
work and bread.
Well done. Hitler reassures the public that it is their intention above all to solve this crisis of the Great Depression, and that it will take time to do so, so please be patient. But the reality was that Hitler was more focused on his own personal agendas, even if he was saying this. Ones he'd written about extensively in Mein Kampf. Now, you've read Mein Kampf a few times now. Were there any nuggets you didn't pick up the first time? That's from Succession. You know
I know. That's exactly what I was thinking. It was who's the presenter's name? It's like Dick Raven.
Yeah,
the
presenter. Yeah.
So, I mean, who hasn't read it a couple times? And Matthew McFadden is like, a couple times.
A couple times. Yeah, any nuggets you didn't get the first time, and then he goes, "But what is it that interests you so much about Nazi Germany? Oh, the what was it? The brutality." Or the damage, the scale, the death, and he has
10 million Germans, 40 million Russians, 10 million Poles.
Any other number in there? You're trying to miss a number. This is so good.
Hey, that scene is like a comedic masterclass. Like that is Matthew McFadden in that scene is he like hits his delivery perfectly. It is so good.
I love Succession. Such a good show. So yes, in Mein Kampf, Hitler talks about the expulsion of the Jewish people. And in fact, that's Hitler's true passion in life. The Jews are trying to...
I mean, there's quite a lot of people passionate about it, but I guess someone's got to really take a stand.
Well, I agree. The Jews...
Sorry.
I don't
agree.
I don't agree. The Jews are trying to take over the world. It's an international issue, but here in Germany, we are affected the most by it. So within weeks of taking power, the Nazis start blockading Jewish shops.
Is there anything that they think Jews have caused the economic crisis?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
They think it's cool. They've caused everything.
That's Jewish purging 101.
They think the Russian communist Jews are what caused the Germans to lose World War I, and they think it's the American Jews that caused the Great Depression, the bankers and all that.
Oh man,
So
if the shoe fits.
Yeah, well, I can't say that because I'm not Jewish.
There are people probably listening to this who have slightly anti-Jewish leanings. Maybe there's a lot of criticality for the Jewish people lately in the news. So I am joking. I know this is a myth.
Yes, absolutely, Zach. I agree. So no, I actually do agree. The Nazis, obviously. So within weeks of taking power, the Nazis start blockading Jewish shops. SA brown shirts stand guard, and Jews are beaten in the street. Some for intervening, some for just existing. The move is unpopular around Germany. The German people aren't ready yet for this brand of anti-Semitism.
Oh, really? Germans didn't like it?
No.
Oh, I thought
the Germans kept going to the shops, despite the fact they had brown shirts in front of them.
Pushing past
and said, I like this shop owner, I know him, I'm going to buy his wares. Yeah. And the blockade was removed after just one day.
Really?
So the Nazis are clever, and they recognize that their current game plan just won't work, while Germans are unhappy about the state of the country. If they're going to convince people, they need to first fix the problems that there are. So anti-Semitism...
Kind of like here right now.
It's kind of like, look, honestly, when I was researching this, I saw comparisons to so many things right now. In the UK, in Russia, in America, in Germany itself, it was actually quite eye-opening.
Yeah, because there's plenty of policies Labour have that going to be really good and beneficial to the public, but they just can't quite do them because the economy is in the mud. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of it. We're talking about Starmer in 2025 Britain, but I mean there's literally countless governments that have had to deal with the exact same thing. That's just economic issues are usually the most important for many. Yeah, that's what the people want sorted, primarily first and foremost. So essentially, anti-Semitism is put on the back burner for years, and literally for years. They don't really talk about it at all. They instead focus on the task at hand.
Just a bit lower than education.
So the Nazis start heavily investing in the country, starting with the world-famous Autobahn. Woo. The Nazis used the Autobahn as a centerpiece to the German war on unemployment. Countless workers were now needed to create this futuristic, exciting national project to connect the fatherland for all to explore. I mean, I get it. If you're someone that's lived in your neighborhood in a small village for ages, barely touched any other part of Germany, let alone the world, the idea of a big motorway that connects you to everywhere, you could go anywhere at any time, is quite exciting. I got to admit.
Nazi apologists frequently point to the Autobahn as a sign of the Nazis being socialists or communists. It's the main thing they latch onto. They're like, oh, the Nazis can't be fascist because they had like massive public infrastructure projects and like boosted, got rid of unemployment and had like really like social security schemes for German people.
Yeah.
Really, that's where they fall down though, because like the Autobahn itself was literally, it wasn't built to ensure different parts of the country were connected to each other. That was a part of it. But the main reason it was built was to become like the basis of the war economy. Yeah. It was supposed to be like something that could transport like troops and wagons.
Yes, of course, but it does also just solve many issues. Of course. You know, it solves unemployment because they need vast amounts of workers to get it done. It's a way to start pumping money into something exciting. It's a way to get Germans on their side. I mean, it's to say it's for the war effort. I mean, you know, they were doing it for multiple reasons. Yeah. And I will say, I'm glad. I mean, you've been bringing up communism and ideologies non-stop in the last few podcasts. And I'm glad to say that you definitely won't be stopping this one, because there are several moments where we're pretty much going to discuss exactly that, about what. Are the Germans actually National Socialists or are they not? Because on paper, there are actually quite a few examples, which I didn't know about, in the next few years, where they do display themselves as doing something quite socialist. But most of them, not all of them, but most of them, there's always an ulterior motive.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to give weight to it. Like, it's a really stupid thing that people say, no, they're not. The Nazis weren't fascists. They were socialists. They were called National Socialists. They were a different form of fascism and socialism. They were something completely different. But they weren't. They were just fascists. But like, people in their minds, for some reason. Well,
they were fascists, but they still did the occasional socialist or the slightly left-leaning policy to help. Because at the end of the day, some of them were extremely popular, and the Nazis, even if they are fascists, are also a populist party that will do what it takes for their people to like them.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that.
If you were to say to me, are they left wing or right wing? I would obviously say they're extreme right. I'm not saying they're left. I'm just saying to say that they haven't done any left wing policies is incorrect.
I'm not saying they haven't done any. I'm saying that the ones they do, like you just said, are for an ulterior motive. Like it's feel like they're.
It's not just an ulterior motive. They are actually, connecting the fatherland, even if they're doing it for a certain reason.
Yeah, connecting the fatherland, a really nationalistic idea, right? That in itself is nationalistic.
Of course, yeah.
Connecting the fatherland, getting German-speaking Germans in one country from Czechoslovakia and Austria and Poland. It's all got this like underlying tone of like militarism, nationalism, persecution of like minorities. There's never this like in socialism, for it to be socialism, there needs to be like equal treatment of all peoples.
Well, look,
you should say the core tenet of socialism.
Absolutely, and you should save some of that, because genuinely, what you've just said there is pretty much exactly what we're going to be talking about in a few minutes. Before we get there, though, here is literally the next example I have is something that is pretty much exactly the opposite of socialism. Hitler considers trade unions as communist scum, which is
socialist.
Socialist.
Oh, yeah.
And a threat to the nation. So he creates a new German Labour Front. That was the name of it, the New German Labour Front. Essentially a distraction. So he can destroy the trade unions of Germany, steal their wealth, and imprison their leaders, and use this new, I guess technically nationalised because it's by the government, but essentially, the government just saying these are now the new laws and you have to abide by them. We're not actually going to help your unions and sort you out in any way. So pretty much as right as it gets.
You're telling me they're not for the protection of workers and people?
I didn't say that. Who are you arguing?
Is
there someone behind me?
No, I just think it's probably someone listening to this episode who probably thinks, I don't want to alienate our fan base, the people that watch this, or might have stumbled upon us at like at the first opportunity they've seen us. But there's probably someone watching this thinking, oh no, come on, that's not real, is it? Well, they're socialists. You just said a really, really important fact about how they're not socialists, but they've done other things too. Everything comes back to fascism. Everything. Now, I'm sorry getting really impassioned, but like there are blatant signs of how fascistic they are. And like that is such an obvious one, but people still on TikTok and Instagram comment sessions are like, no, they're actually National Socialists. That's right. I'm sure I'm going to be having this exact same rant every 5 minutes for the next 2 hours.
You will, well, because we're not done. There's a few other points of interest to do with exactly the same topic. But before we go any further, it's been good news so far. Unemployment is lowering. Germans are slowly becoming impressed with the new government. And now it's time for the Nazis to start winning over their loyalty. Time for the classic dictator thing, creating a sense of national patriotism as necessary for the kingdom, and then tying themselves to that patriotism, to that nationalism. Now, in the last episode about North Korea, we spoke about Juche and how Kim Il-sung tied this sense of unwavering national patriotism to North Korea and to the Kim family itself. So you must love North Korea, and to love North Korea means you also must love the Kims. If you don't, then you're a traitor from, you have to do both.
You can't really love the North Korea if you don't really love the Kims.
North Korea is a beautiful land. The gods bestowed it on the people, and the Kim family are the demigods that are trusted with this sacred place. Well, it's now Hitler's next task to do the exact same process with Nazi Germany. Do you know what Volksgemeinschaft means?
Volksgemeinschaft is like the people's community, or it's like one community, basically. It's basically suggesting that everything has to be done for one another to have like a really efficient, beautiful Germany.
Yeah, pretty much. Again, sounding on paper very, socialist people coming together. I like the sound of these National Socialist lads.
But who might those one people be?
Okay, well, you're skipping that because that's obviously what we're going to talk about. But yeah, yes, you're pretty much exactly right. Volksgemeinschaft means the people's community.
Can we have clear pronunciation, please? It's Volksgemeinschaft.
Okay, you speak German. I don't. So, what the fuck do you want me to do? Germany is special. The reason it's special is because of its people. Volk, meaning
people.
Well, yeah. I mean, literally, folk. Same word.
Didn't actually know that.
Yeah, well, VF. Come on, folk. The concept, but yes, people. That's the other. It just means both. The concept is German people achieve outstanding things when they work together. It is a communal message. And really, it is quite a nice, wholesome message. If we didn't have any,
it's quite true as well.
It is. Germany does do outstanding things when they're together.
Fantastic.
Have you seen their football national team? I mean, Christ, the togetherness.
Yeah. I think that
is a true example.
That 2012 World Cup team. That was
14.
That was a one.
Yeah,
unit.
2014.
That was like there was no individual players in that team. There were stunning individual players like Ozil.
Sure, let's play a quick game. Name the members from that squad. Last one to lose loses.
Okay.
Ozil.
Neuer.
Podolski.
Closer. No.
Yeah, close is there.
Gomez. Then
close is there.
Okay.
Gomez.
Kadira.
Mertesacker.
Schweinsteiger.
Mustafi.
No, Mustafi, isn't it?
Yeah, he is.
Did you say Mertesacker?
Yeah, I did.
Schmelzer.
Sure. I mean, we don't have the list in front of us, so we can't actually play this. Lahm, I don't know. Does Lahm even there?
Lahm's definitely there. Yeah.
But yeah.
Hummels.
Well, that was a good game, but we can't have no way of fact checking it. If anyone in the conversation knows, it's like, oh wait, hold on, he wasn't.
Anyone the fact in the actually watches, go back, get up a Wikipedia page of Germany's 2014 World Cup squad, see we've got.
So
nice.
So very nice. So the concept is Germans do outstanding things when they work together. Nice wholesome message.
Cruz. How did we forget about Cruz?
Cruz. Oh my god, yeah.
Tony Cruz. Sorry.
Like I said before, it is a communal message and really quite a nice, wholesome message. The problem is, if it wasn't being used sneakily by the most evil of regimes to basically say, we all need to pull our boots up, stand up together and work in unison for the greater good, so follow exactly what we tell you to do because someone has to lead this charge in the right direction and get us all working together in that same direction. So just like Kim Il-sung, Hitler's birthday becomes a national holiday.
What day is it? April or something?
April 20th.
That was it. 420.
It is, yeah.
Smoke it up.
A national holiday like this is one to celebrate the ideals that make us all proud German folk.
Yeah.
One interesting example of this kind of collective spirit that the Nazis tried to create was the one pot stew Sunday. Do you know what that is?
I presume that on Sunday, it's like a Sunday roast, but instead it's a one pot of probably sausages and dumplings.
I mean, yeah, you're basically.
Sounds like a very Bavarian thing.
It probably is a Bavarian thing.
They probably don't have that same thing up in up in the Rhineland.
I don't know about the regions, but it does. When I researched this, basically, I found out that just like the Brits, the Germans loved a Sunday roast, and they still love a Sunday roast. It's still part of their tradition. Yeah,
they go to the.
It is
to the beer hall
it is and was a tradition on a Sunday for the family to get together and have a roast. The Nazis scrapped that. So that was a tradition, and they decided to get rid of it, or at least push the tradition away. And instead, they, not forced, but they kind of introduced this idea of not purchasing meat to eat on the Sunday. And then with that leftover change that you use from not spending it on meat, to donate that into a Nazi public welfare scheme to help the poor. Then, I know, and you're now thinking, oh, wait, what have I just said? Now, then the family would meet other families in a community hall to eat a communal stew without meat. Now, that is a socialist, left-wing ideal. Yes, there could be ulterior motives, but that is genuinely a change for the good. Because at the beginning, I'm sure that they did donate to those centers. Yeah. Of course, later on in the Nazi regime, when there's a war machine, I'm sure that they were pocketing that cash to spend on the Nazi war machine itself rather than giving it to the poor, especially considering, past a certain point, they were exterminating the undesirables like the homeless. So I doubt they were paying to get them off the streets in that moment in time. But
it's like Lombico.
So I'm not saying again that they are socialist. However, you must have to admit that that is a socialist policy.
I don't think giving to the poor or like having a community dinner is an essentially socialist thing. I think most people,
it's left wing.
I think it's not like
it is.
It's not like a political ideology to have to understand a good thing. I'm not saying like I'm saying this like this sort of feels like a dividing line. Everyone across the political spectrum will think homelessness is bad. Like everyone will think that. People will think across the political spectrum, there shouldn't be people sleeping on the streets. Everyone should have a home.
Yes, but right-wing governments don't like welfare.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not being paid for. It's not being paid for by the state, though. It's being paid for people out of their own pockets.
And that, of course, is
that doesn't make it socialistic. Then,
of course, that's the undertone to it. But the fact of the matter is, the Nazis were doing this. They were pushing people to help fund.
They're not.
But they are, because they're making the communal stew that then the people eat.
Really, what I reckon the thing is here.
It's minor, but it's a thing.
They're probably telling people not to eat their meat because there's a shortage of meat.
Yeah,
that's probably what the situation is.
Yeah, maybe. But to be fair, I didn't see anything that saying that was like the true reason for it.
That happened in like most countries. Be like, yeah, you can't eat meat anymore.
I mean, maybe you're right. Look,
it's just bread and rice.
I need to preface. I'm not saying I agree. I completely agree with everything you're saying.
Sound like
I'm just pointing out that this is why it's more difficult to define the Nazis than other countries. I mean, it's not difficult. But this is why there's more of a debate around it. That's why apologists are able to try and debate it, because they still did those things, even if the ulterior motives was there. They still did them. You can't deny it. They did them.
No, I agree. Okay, whatever, they did that. But I'm saying the reason why people fucking apologize to them now is because people themselves are so fucking right wing as things stand. The world is getting so right wing.
Yeah, I also love that, like, the ideas, the way they say the reasons they give for them being left wing are like the good things that they did. They're like,
they put the Autobahn. That's so left wing.
They built roads for the entire country. That's so fucking commie. They fed the people with stews and gave them money to welfare. That's disgusting left wing bullshit. It's like all the things to complain about.
And those are like also the only good things. Like the other things that they're saying like that aren't socialistic are just like the horrible things.
Yeah. So I mean, we're obviously completely in agreement on it. But it's just that is a funny little example of a very weird situation. Just the kind of things I didn't really know about Nazi Germany, especially in those early years. That type of thing shows what the message they're trying to give is, which is that Germany is brilliant when its people are united as one, and for its people to be united as one, they must all follow the same tune. The person in charge of that tune being Adolf Hitler, their tireless leader who works every day to drag the patriotic German people out of this desperate depression.
Herr Fuhrer.
Another funny little example.
Or Der Fuhrer, maybe.
Another little example I have actually, which is very odd. It's apparently German newlyweds would now receive Mein Kampf as a wedding present for free.
That's pretty nice. So you and Bear a copy on your wedding day.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty nice. Nothing gets you in the mood for a honeymoon like reading a bit of Mein Kampf.
Babes. Persecution, the Bolsheviks.
My God, my fiance walks into the
Lebensraum, babes.
Walks into the. What are you reading there, honey? No, nothing. Nothing. Just hide it behind the sofa.
No. She walks in, she's like, what are you reading? I'm just reading about Lebensraum, baby.
Lebensraum.
Tell me more. Well, here they say something really, really bad.
Just really bad. Mostly about Jews.
God, that gets my rocks off. Mostly about Jews, yeah.
Yeah, it is not lost on me, the irony of us doing this podcast face to face. Me, Aryan Catholic, and you a commie Jew. Me with my Catholic Aryan fiance.
Oh, right. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit.
Hitler's down in the deepest depths of hell,
Fuck.
so looking up, like so confused. Like, hold on, what are you meant to be? Get out! Oh fuck, what's the German pistol called?
Luger.
Get out your Luger and shoot him, mein Sohn.
Mein Sohn. Yeah, that is.
Yeah,
That's tough, isn't it?
it's funny that.
Do
But
you,
know
do you
what?
feel like you're a superior race?
No. Did you see me on the last pod? Jesus Christ, I look so deathly. How that could be considered the best? How that could be considered the best race? Like, my God, if you got a second, go to the
You're
previous
like a fucking
pod.
ghoul.
I look like I was about to die. So no,
Yeah,
I
I
don't.
did. I was showing my partner Carrie a clip of the podcast from last episode, and it was like it switched from me to Joe, and she like looked awed, she's like visibly shocked. She's like, "Whoa,
So
like who's that ghost on my camera?"
So mean, but it's true. I looked awful. So yeah, Hitler's got to explain that one. If the Nazis want to become synonymous with the strength and patriotism of the country, then famously, what else can they do to embed their beliefs and infest the hearts and minds of the German people?
Start with the kids.
Well done.
Get it in the kiddies.
Well done. Look at that.
Get it in the kiddies.
Target the children. Spot on.
Yeah, the Hitler Juden.
The kiddies.
Hitler Jungen.
So instead of a Boy Scout movement, we've got a
Hitler Scouts.
Yeah, come on.
Hitler Youth.
Hitler Youth
That's
movement. There you go.
Hitler Boy Scouts.
Hitler Boy Scouts
Hitler
Youth.
Young Boys.
The Adolf Hitler Young Boys.
Come on down, the Hitler Young Boys.
Youth movement. So basically, the Hitler Youth movement, I mean, for the first time, because, you know, they don't remember much. They'll remember the sad years after the First World War. And for the first time, they don't feel ashamed of their country. Because every German has been told to feel ashamed, especially after the Treaty of Versailles. Yeah. And suddenly, they've been told to be proud. To feel proud, invigorated.
I guess you could say they shouldn't have really felt ashamed after World War One.
No, of course they shouldn't.
World War One was a shit show across the board, wasn't it?
No one should have felt that. But at the end of the day, because, you know, that's why Hitler
lost.
got elected. It's like because this like unfair pushing of responsibility that Germany had to take the brunt of it just meant that that was the breeding ground for Hitler, and that's why Hitler then uses that to convince everyone. It's like, if you've felt ashamed your whole life, or at least for the last 20 years, and someone comes along and says you don't need to feel ashamed of it, and step up, and you should feel happy and proud of your country, this beautiful country.
Yeah.
Then who wouldn't, lap up that kind of
lovely. It's a lovely country.
When was the last time you went?
2 years ago, I think. I went to Austria though, and Austria and Germany, in my eyes, are
never
the same
been.
thing.
Never been.
Austria is absolutely stunning. Like it's just a beautiful country. Like the people there are super friendly. The landscapes are incredible. It's all like hilly and rolling green fields.
Yeah,
basically.
I'd love to see Austria. Yeah, so the Hitler Youth movement, it wasn't just the boys too. The girls got one. Do you know what it's called?
The Hitler Youthies.
The Hitler ladies.
Hitler ladies.
As you speak German, I'll get you to translate it. Sorry for the accent. Der Bund Deutscher Madel.
The Bund Deutscher Madel.
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 Madel, yeah.
The fun German something.
Der Bund is the band, or the
band.
The league, the group.
The band of German women?
Yeah.
Girls?
Madel, maidens.
Oh, right.
So,
okay, that's
so
what
yeah, girls. So yeah,
literally, I would have thought like Frau or something.
Literally, it's the band of German maidens.
Also, can I just say, I haven't done Duolingo German in about a year and a half.
The band of German maidens, literally, but yeah, the League of German Girls is the girl version. Fascism requires communities and peoples to split up, to divide, to stop working together, and eventually to hate each other. That is a key part of what makes fascism fascism. So how does Vollgemeinschaft, which I'm sure you're going to correct me in a second, work alongside that? Because in theory, Vollgemeinschaft does the opposite. Now is your chance to wax lyrical about this.
Well, yeah, because Volksgemeinschaft, it's bringing one people. But
the theory is that the theory is it's the people all together working together.
But it's not.
Why is it not like that?
Because it's not the people. It's one people, and it's Aryan Germans. It's white Germans, and then, if you're really lucky, blue-haired, blue eyes, blonde-haired Germans.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy over here.
Me,
he's
love me. I mean, my hair's not really as blonde anymore. But when I was a kid, it was bleach blonde.
Yeah, my hair was blonde when I was a kid. Bright blonde.
But now you're not blonde.
No. I'm a
You're
dirty...
not one of us.
I'm a dirty rat.
Oh, Jesus.
Jimmy rat.
Glad you said it.
Yeah, my dad's watching, pretty disappointed at me for saying that.
Would he watch a Nazi episode?
Yeah, as long as I don't go harping on about Jews, because he gets really upset when I badmouth Jews on the podcast.
Well,
but I am Jewish.
to be fair,
Dad.
I don't think you should on a Nazi one.
No,
that's
a bit tone deaf, isn't it? Yeah, it's not ideal. Yeah, so what I would say, yeah, it's ideal. In theory, it's a socialist principle, but then when you drill into the detail, you realise that the one people they want are Aryans.
Yes.
So inherently, it's divisive.
Yep.
It's fascistic.
Yep.
It's not socialist.
Yep.
It's not treating everyone equally.
Yep.
Fascists.
You
Nazis. Fascists.
Yes, fascists. You've got that pretty much spot on. So this is another classic from the Dictator Handbook. It's to hand people a lift out of the shit, but at the same time to quietly say in the small print, it comes at a cost. Putin's message to the starving Russians after the collapse of the Soviet Union was, I will save you. Trust in me, but be aware some civil liberties you take for granted will go. He bent all the systems, all the oligarchs, all the media, all the ecosystems to himself and to his rule. And Russia now is a very different country to what it was in 2001, for example. Hitler's message to the starving Germans after the Great Depression, I will save you. Trust in me, but be aware it's not all of you I'll be saving. It's you, the proud German. But the small print is the communists, the Jews, the minorities, the liberal elites.
The gays.
They aren't joining us. The gays,
blacks.
Absolutely. The homosexuals.
It wasn't just Jews that got it. It was the wheelchair bound and the gays.
Yep. Well, it's more than them as well.
Yeah, that's it.
You know,
it's a bit simplistic.
They aren't joining us. They are the reason we're in this mess. Just ignore them while I lift you, specifically you, out of poverty. Don't look at them. Don't acknowledge them. In fact, if you want to spit at them while I lift you up, then go right ahead. That's the message that he's giving to the German
that's
people.
your right, isn't it?
He's basically saying, look, I am going to save you, but the people, your neighbors, or the people that are part of your community that are the reason we're in this mess, they're going to have to go. So I'm here to save you and your family and your family's family and your neighbors that are also white Germans, ethno-Germans, but that Jewish shop owner down the street, you're going to need to forget about him. Now, what say you, starving German peasant? Do you want to be lifted up out of this situation? And they go, well, I do like the shop owner. He seems quite nice, but I mean, can you? Let's see what he can do. Suddenly, there's an autobahn. Suddenly, unemployment is going down. And he goes, well, I mean, I do feel like I've got more money to feed my own family, and I am noticing a few things here and there, but. You know, if this is what he meant, you know, maybe the occasional racist remark, then
blockading the shops, that's fine, isn't it?
That's fine. So that is one of the key tenets of any fascist, any dictator, any type of rule that is about saving a country that is in desperate need. Again, there are several parallels, and I don't want to go into them because we're not pint-sized politics, but there are several parallels you could take with this current day in Britain and in America and all over Europe. Everywhere has this same type of situation where people feel completely let down and someone is saying to them, I will help you. But the small print, which they might notice or they might not, is saying it will come at a cost, and many people are not realizing that. Fascism breeds in desperate situations where people need to feed their family and are happy to be divided from their neighbor as long as their needs are met. So Volks and Mineshaft, this on the surface, wholesome family values social code, is actually the opposite. It's a dividing mechanism that is there to push through Nazi racial ideology. Meanwhile, fascist. Meanwhile, all kings, dictators, and those in total power face this at the beginning of their reigns. What is it?
Consolidation challenges.
Sure, kind of. Threats to their power from outside and from within.
No, that's what I said.
It is, but I was more looking for threats.
Yeah.
Or, enemies.
Ooh, is this going to be Raab?
The Nazis now have complete power of Germany, but Hitler's control isn't airtight. Ernst Röhm.
Is it Röhm or Raab?
It's Röhm.
Röhm.
Oh, it might be Röhm.
R-O-H-M.
Yeah.
I think it's Raab, but it could be Röhm.
Well, he's one of the highest Nazis in the Nazi party up to this point. He He was a close friend of Hitler and had been involved in the party since 1919. His role as one of the most important Nazi Party members was to be in control of the famous brown shirts, the SA. Now, if you remember from last time that we did this podcast, I spoke about how initially they were crucial to the Nazis getting, well, kind of just stamping their claim, putting a foot through the door. But the problem was that they were essentially thugs, and after a while, Hitler wanted to push away them because he wanted it. He realized he needed to have an image change, so he created the SS, who were tall, Aryan, lovely suits designed by Hugo Boss, not these stupid brown shirts. And they looked more intimidating, but also just more professional, more impressive.
Probably had much better training too.
Yes, because they were thugs, the SA. But actually, the SS, they only started getting more training as time went on. So at the beginning, they actually weren't that trained.
Isn't during World War II, like when you think of the elite forces for the German army, it's like you've got the Wehrmacht, like the normal army. Mm-hmm. Then you've got like the Fallschirmjäger, I think I said that right, with the parachute regiments. Mm-hmm. And then like above that, there's the SS battalions, and they're like really well armed, like super well manned, like always fighting at fierce fighting strength, fight with sheer passion, determination. Like when you see World War II films, no one wants to fight against the SS, the SS units.
I don't actually have this written down, but the SS are really interesting because they were so intimidating, and because they were essentially Hitler's private army, it kind of meant that they were above anything else anyway. So it wasn't just it wasn't just enemies that were scared of them. German people were scared of them. Like the ones that weren't Jewish, that had no problems with the state, that were probably Nazis. Like the German army were scared of them. At the end of the day, these were guys that had pretty much total power. They answered to one man, essentially. Well, I guess two men, which is Himmler, and if not Himmler, then Hitler. And so, they basically had free reign to do anything. And on top of that, they were really, it became a bit of a boys' club in the sense that, like, they were brought in, all looked the same because they were all Aryan, all supposed to be tall, handsome, well-built, athletic. And they all were taught the same, not when they went to these schools that were eventually built to suit the SS, they were not only trained in becoming an SS officer, learning how to use a gun, learning what to do in certain scenarios. But they also just taught ideology. These are young, disenfranchised men that have come together and they've been brought into a room where they're all alike and they're all fighting for the Nazi cause. And so that's, it makes sense when you think about it, that they would be the ones that orchestrated the Holocaust. Yeah. Because it makes sense that these are the most fanatical, because they were brought up to believe it. They were all together. They got paid well. They ate well. These were guys that had basically I was going to say coolest, in the sense that, like, as a young man, you were the shit if you were an SS officer at the beginning. Obviously, once the atrocities start beginning, everyone starts going, okay, well, you guys are total scum. But at the end of the day, at the beginning, the SS were cool. They were the ones. They had the Hugo Boss suits. They were the thing. So you kind of, as a young man, would buy into anything that they threw at you, ideological wise, because at the end of the day, you were able to.
They become just like echo chamber within the Nazi party, and probably within the SS and the Gestapo, where, like, because you have like only people that sympathize with each other, and because they're all together talking about ideology all day long, and like their politics all day long, that they just like they ferment and become like more extremists, and like slowly but surely the ones who are like fairly moderate, wanted to be in the SS because it's like great salary, great pay, good positions, they're eventually being like, God, I've heard for 5 years from Hans and Lars about how bad the Jews are, and now there's only
when you
one
say
solution.
Something enough times, you start feeling like more of a fact, even if it's completely fabricated, made up bullshit. And at the end of the day, most of these young men would have come in and know nothing about racial ideology, white supremacy. They would never have thought about that before. But now, when they're being, they would have heard it. But you know what I mean? Like, they would never have thought about it. And suddenly they're in a room where everyone is just talking about it nonstop. You're the shit. You're what the perfect people should be for the future forever. I mean, after a while, you're going to start loving the compliments and going, to be fair, I am kind of the shit. So, pretty dodgy. Anyway, the SS are in and the SA are being phased out. Interestingly, the brown shirts at this point are still a huge force. By 1934, there were 4.5 million brown shirts.
Really? 4.5
million. Absolutely dwarfing the Wehrmacht, the German army.
Is it like 60 odd million Germans, right?
I'm not sure exactly what it is, but the German army was demilitarized at this point. It was only about to get back on its feet.
Right?
So it's like, the brown shirts could have just taken over at any moment. So no wonder there's, the person that's at the top of the brown shirt chain would be deemed a potential threat. As their leader, Röhm was easily one of the most powerful men in the country, and the inner circle were worried he'd stage a coup using his brown shirts to topple Hitler.
The inner circle being Hitler's closest,
well, which he was once part of, but now is,
phased out.
The ones that we all know, like Himmler, Goebbels, Goering, etc. What was the one that orchestrated the Eichmann?
I don't think Eichmann was in a circle.
No?
I think it was like Bormann and
Bormann.
Hess.
So the Nazis manufacture this complete waffle of a document saying that Röhm is being paid off by the French government 12 million Reichsmarks to overthrow Hitler and destabilize the country. I checked quickly, and 12 million is 59 million pounds in today's money. So he was getting paid well in this fake document.
Quite a tasty sum of money.
59 million quid to topple Hitler. Fuck yeah.
Would you topple Hitler for 50 million?
Yeah, I would, with my brown shirts.
Well, it has to be 55
I wouldn't.
million
I don't think I'd call them. I want them to be different purple shirts or something.
Purple shirts. You
brown
love purple,
shirts.
don't you?
I love purple.
I'd personally be teal shirts.
T-shirts.
I'll tell you what,
Imagine how ridiculous they'd look rolling up the streets of Berlin.
It's because teal's my favourite colour.
No, I know. I get it. Hitler uses this and traps all the leaders of the SA, including Röhm. They meet in South Germany for a fake party conference. And at 6 a.m. in late June 1934, they are all awoken in their hotel and seized. Hitler personally leads his unit to Röhm's bedroom, pistol in hand, and arrests him.
Himmler.
No, Hitler.
Hitler.
Hitler goes personally into the room and says, "You're under arrest for high treason," to Röhm. This is the start of the notorious Night of the Long Knives, one of the most famous purges in world history. The Nazis used this planned coup from Röhm as an excuse to execute several enemies to the Nazi party, from old adversaries, potential foes within the party and outside, and the main officers of the SA, including Röhm. Over the span of just a few days, the Nazis rounded up more than...
it's not over one night?
No, it's over a few nights.
Okay.
Well, a few days. I'm sure the majority of it was that first night. Over the span of just a few days, the Nazis rounded up more than 1,000 perceived opponents and killed hundreds of them without any legal process.
Jesus.
Apparently, there were many people who were mistakenly killed just for having the same name as someone on Hitler's purge list. The SS weren't always totally thorough. The following day from Röhm's arrest, Hitler authorizes his execution. 2 officers enter Röhm's cell, give him a pistol, and tells him he has 10 minutes to kill himself, or they would do it themselves. Röhm responds, "If I am to be killed, let Adolf do it himself." They leave, and 10 minutes later, there is no shot in that cell. So the 2 officers return, and Röhm is standing shirtless, chest out, loud and proud. They shoot and kill him.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, because Röhm is a massive bloke, right?
Yeah.
He is, I don't know if you've seen a picture of him,
beefy
but he
lad.
is a big guy. He's like
a beefy
6 foot 4.
He's out there, chest out.
Huge
He's
chest.
Khal Drogo.
Hulk of a man,
I mean, that's very nice to be calling Khal Drogo. He looks nothing like that. But he's like, he's out there loud and proud, chest out, going, "Go on then, kill me! Kill me!
You're not going to shoot me?
You're not going to shoot me, no.
I mean, really, like, it's... You want to say it's a cool way to go, but really you're just like, you've been purged by Hitler in a cold cell on your own. Like, you got your shirt off, you're standing proud. But...
Well, Hitler gave him the option of killing himself. He felt like he owed it to him.
Yeah, do you know who got the option to kill themselves and did kill themselves? Hero in my eyes.
Rommel?
Rommel.
Yeah.
Desert Fox.
Yes, but that's a pod for another day.
I wanted to do a 3-4 part.
I think Rommel would be great to rule and lead us to do. Germany is rebuilding, unemployment is down, and Germans are starting to find their feet. They are even rearming, despite the fact that shitty treaty. I know the Treaty of Versailles. The Treaty of Versailles has banned Germany from basically having any army. Well, Hitler's just ignoring it because trusting in appeasement is another of the classic dictator tropes.
Yeah, and I guess at the same time, all the European powers are like struggling with the Great Depression.
Yeah,
too.
so what are they going to do?
Yeah, like oh god, them again.
This is an easy one for them to appease. It's okay, well, what are they going to do? The problem, though, is that the Nazis are still not all that popular. Although economically they are improving, the average German isn't noticing much change in their quality of life. The country's folk are working hard, but not seeing much gain. So now it's time for Hitler to use his ultimate scapegoat and pray this time it works. The reason your life is not improving, despite the fact the country is obviously improving as a whole, is because of the Jews. So in September 1935, the Nazi Party enacted the Nuremberg race laws. From now on, Jewish people were not to be considered lawful citizens of Germany, meaning they had less state rights. The law also stopped Germans from marrying Jews or having sexual relations of any kind with Jews. This leads to the question, did Germans believe the scapegoat? And the answer is not entirely. Not every German believed the Jews were a problem, not at all. But the fact of the matter is, when society is divided enough, then you don't really need every German to believe it. It will be a spectrum. Some Germans deplore the ideas, have Jewish friends or family, or are educated enough to know that it's a lie. But they are in the minority. Some Germans don't care one bit who is to blame. They just want to be fed. Some Germans have never met a Jew and are willing to believe this new agenda when told it often enough. Hitler and the Nazis have been scapegoating the Jews for decades now. If you don't have any Jews in your life or don't follow politics often, then why wouldn't you start believing it? And you only need a majority of Germans to be okay with the lie, not even to accept the lie, just be okay with it for the lie to then infest society. So that is one of Hitler's two main personal ideologies. What is the other?
Jews?
The Jewish problem is the number one. What is the number two?
Well, I felt there's more than two.
There are two, but these are the main two.
The second two is reuniting all German speakers under Germany.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it.
Or conquest.
It's bigger. It's imperial conquest.
Yeah.
The one word is your favorite German word, Zach.
Lebensraum,
Lebensraum.
baby.
That is the
translating to living space or living room.
This podcast essentially is going to talk about, I mean, there's many things that the Nazis wanted to do, but at the end of the day, you can pretty much push it down to Hitler's personal two main ideologies. Firstly, that the Jews need to be gotten rid of, and secondly, that the German people needed living space, which is what Lebensraum means in German.
And thirdly, socialism, sorry.
And socialism, of course, because he was a national socialist, if you weren't sure. The pure Aryan race of the Nazis must have living space to go forth. And to do that, they must ignore that awful Treaty of Versailles that has hindered Germany from any army or any expansion. And as we finish part one of this two-parter of the Nazis in power, we end with another trope from the dictator playbook. Zach, you know it, you love it, it's appeasement. The first example of appeasement proper is the Rhineland. Remember the Rhineland?
Yes, the demilitarization.
Remember the fucking demilitarization? That fucking
Come on!
Remember the Rhineland?
I love it.
So that demilitarization.
Dortmund, Essen, Frankfurt, some serious talent in the Rhineland.
That demilitarized zone that the French had abused and used for itself, that crucial land in West Germany that the Germans needed for production, Hitler plans to remilitarize it. His generals scream, "No! Mein Fuhrer, don't do it. The French will attack us. The Brits may join them. We'd be fucked. Don't do it. Don't risk it, Mein Fuhrer. Please." Hitler ignores all those little pricks. They just don't understand the glorious word appeasement. Hitler takes on the biggest risk, or one of the biggest risks, he's actually done quite a few at this point, one of the biggest risks of his career so far, and marches straight into the Rhineland in March 1936. France do nothing but whine. The Brits do...
No, you cannot be pushing into the Rhineland.
The Brits do nothing but complain.
Oh, bloody hell. They're in the Rhineland again.
Hitler banks on appeasement, and Hitler is rewarded by appeasement. The people celebrate, they scream for joy in the streets. Hitler, you hero, you've restored German pride. Germany is back. And that is where we're going to end part one.
God, I get some blood pumping.
As Hitler prepares his German people in part two next week, both in mind and in arms for war. Little would they know it would be the biggest and most deadly war in the history of mankind.
I just fucking love it. There's nothing that really gets me going like the Nazis rising to power. and it's weird saying that as a white Jewish man with mental health problems too, nonetheless.
Yeah, I don't know where you want me to take that. Yeah, I agree. But hey,
I agree. You're a Jewish man with mental health problems.
We'll be back. We'll be back for part two next week, where we discuss all the interesting things that happen as the Nazis start preparing for World War II. And that's where we're going to end it. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed.
See you next week. Bye.